Hi, Joe Smiles here. Jesse James West does a urine test to prove that he's natural because the whole of the internet is saying he's not natural. He's trying to prove that he's not taking any steroids, but we all know that people who do bodybuilding competitions and physique competitions take steroids. But let's have a look at what he says on his video.
Lately there's been a lot of accusations in the fitness industry. Apparently, I'm not natural, and it's time to put...
He says he's natural, everyone's saying he's not natural, so what he does is before the bodybuilding competition he's going to do a urine test, and then he thinks that will prove that he's going to be natural or not. Peeing in a cup proves nothing. You've got to have a blood test. There's no evidence in his video that he peed in a cup, that we saw him pee in a cup. It could have been somewhere else, it could have been a fake blood test centre. We all know that bodybuilders and physique athletes take steroids. I know people that have done bodybuilding and physique competitions. They all take various performance enhancing drugs. You need a proper blood test to prove if you're natural or not, and you need a fasting testosterone test, and you need your lipid profile done, because if you have high low density lipoprotein and high triglycerides, then that is also indicative of taking steroids.
Anabolics. Listen, I am here to prove that I'm natty, and a lot of you guys aren't believing me, so you know what? I'm gonna do what I have to do. I'm gonna make sure this happens. Let's head inside and pee in a cup. Do you think I'm natty?
So he says in 24 hours he's gonna find out if he's natural or not. Well, okay, let's see what happens. Now, if you go onto my website, you'll see 5 years worth of blood tests, full blood test results that show all my lipid profiles, all my testosterone profiles. Everything is in the complete normal range, and there's no urine tests. It's all blood tests, and that's the only way that you can prove that you're natural or not. So then he goes to see his dietitian, and he talks to his Sir Kyle, and he says he wants to see morning picture routines of him, and he wants to cut out all sweeteners. The World Health Organization have said that there's a minor possibility that extremely high doses of aspartame can cause a cancer rate of a 1.3-fold increase, which is minimal, and you'd have to take a massive amount every day, 365 days of the year, for years to get any cancer from it. But the biggest second leading cause of cancer is obesity, which people don't realise, and there's 13 types of cancer caused by obesity. Obesity makes up 40% of cancer diagnoses in the US per year.
Prep, peak week. The diet is drastically changing this week, which means I need to be in constant communication with Sir Kyle, my coach. So let's meet him. Good morning, Sir Kyle.
Welcome to peak week. Just want to give you a few rules, okay?
Okay.
Moving forward this entire week, every morning, you will send pictures and weight to yours truly.
174.2.
Some other changes you might not like are going to be removing any of those fake sweeteners.
No.
Okay, so I agree with Carl on this point. Cut out stimulants. You don't need stimulants to train. You don't need caffeine to train. If you need caffeine and stimulants pre-workout, post-workout, you're doing something wrong with your training. You're trying to overtrain and overcompensate and do things that you can't naturally do on your own.
Energy drinks, pre-workout, they gotta go as well.
We have ourselves our meal plan. Meal number 1.
So now Carl's saying that you can do black coffee, just not too much black coffee. So now he's saying you can have stimulants and caffeine when he said you couldn't have stimulants and caffeine. So make your mind up. And there's no evidence that taking coffee would cause any changes to his body composition for him being in his peak week, 1 week out from his bodybuilding competition. It's all about losing fat.
About 215 fluid ounces. That can include black coffee, so as you start to get a little sleepy, if you want to have some coffee, that's fine.
Oh, thank God.
Do not, I repeat, do not do 80 to 100 ounces of black coffee, please.
So he shows himself posing. Is it me, or is there something a bit camp about posing and bodybuilding? It's certainly not a sport that's healthy, and it's really riddled with guys and girls on steroids. He has a very thick upper chest, and it's in line with his lower chest, and he has very vascular rear delts, and these are classic examples of people being on steroids. Big traps, very big vascular rear delts, ripped rear delts. You have a lot of androgen receptors in your upper pecs, your traps, and your delts, especially your rear delts.
Posing is probably my worst feature. Like, I have the leanness, I have decent size, but presenting yourself on stage is so important. I have to be able to hit these poses like there's no tomorrow. Okay, phone key.
So what Jesse's explaining here is a typical case of going into ketosis, where essentially his body's undergoing a metabolic shift where he's starting to break down fats and even protein into ketone bodies, which is a process called ketogenesis.
My ass. I had no energy. I feel so weird and so loopy. I literally feel drunk right now. Like, I feel like I have the spins. Haven't felt that way since college. I didn't want to do cardio. Oh, right.
So the urine test comes back as a possible positive, and they need another 2 weeks of reanalyzing the test. So this so-called doctor that he spoke to, we don't even know that it's a doctor. What the hell does it mean? I've never heard such a thing. A urine test is either positive or negative, and it doesn't even show all the chemicals that he puts in his body anyway. Okay, let's have another look at the next bonkers part of this video.
All right, guys, the urinary test just came in. I have a voicemail from the doctor. We're gonna see what the results are. I know I'm natty, but I have to do this to prove to the internet, you know? Like, I gotta do that. Let's see what they are.
Hi, Jesse. This is Dr. Unfortunately, your results are going to take a little bit longer. Sometimes if they come back positive, they have to do 2 weeks for further testing. So give a call if you have any questions.
All right, well, looks like the urinary test is not ready and we have to wait longer. I guess we just gotta wait a few more days, hopefully.
Yeah, she said this is the greatest fitness series on YouTube you'd ever see. Is this the guy, the most narcissistic guy on YouTube that we've ever heard of, apart from the Liver King?
Episodes. That's right, baby. I know I said I was only gonna do 7 episodes of this series, but you have been responding so good. It's been motivating you guys. You guys love this series so much. We're adding in a bonus episode. We only have 3 episodes remaining in this series, and you don't wanna miss them. So make sure you guys subscribe and turn on your post notifications so you don't miss the greatest fitness series ever to be put on YouTube. Guys, this is the hardest I've ever pushed myself in my entire life.
So he says he's on the verge of crying. Bodybuilding is completely unhealthy and not natural. He said it himself. It's affected his relationships, it's affected his mood swings, he's got body dysmorphia, he's probably got depression, low self-esteem, low confidence. It goes against everything that is positive it's the opposite of optimal health and fitness. It's the worst thing that you can do. And by taking drugs, it's not cool, it's not funny, it doesn't make you stronger, motivating yourself, and a fake way of living.
Yesterday I was on the verge of crying. It's affected my life, it's affected my relationship in negative ways, but that's the reality of bodybuilding. I signed up for this. We all signed up for this that want to be a part of this journey, and we're gonna make it through. I'm gonna be okay. I'm gonna become a better version of myself, take these lessons learned. Bodybuilding is extremely, extremely difficult, selfish, and just overall, if you look at it from the outside, it's unhealthy. And as I promised you guys, I am doing this completely natural.
So finally, after 2 weeks, he got his urine test back. It should have taken 24 hours. He said he's natural, but the whole report is blanked out. Who's to say if it's even a proper, legitimate report? He hasn't been transparent. I've been totally transparent. You could possibly say that he's lying. He proves nothing, and I prove everything. Okay, let's see the results that this nutter's got.
My test results. And the result of Jesse James West's forensic drug test result letter is negative. Ladies and gentlemen, your boy is 110% natty. And I'm gonna show you guys that I'm fucking relentless.
So to conclude and wrap up this video, if you want to stay lean 365 days, jump on my fat loss S.O.S course. It changes your mindset, changes your psychology. It's a no diet course that focuses on the neuroscience and the psychology, and it's a learning process and it takes time. Don't take drugs, do it drug free. You can get great results. Listen to someone like me who has all the knowledge, and all the philosophies and all the techniques, use the same things that I use, and you can get similar results to me.